Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening. This is Roger Gilbert reporting from Australia. I'm reporting at the WAS, World Aquaculture Society's meeting here in Darwin, and I'm in the exhibition area, but I have been listening to some of the conference program this afternoon, and I'm very pleased to say that I have on the stand with me Yahira Piedrahita, who is with the Chamber of Commerce for Ecuador. And Chamber of Commerce is very involved in shrimp production in Ecuador, which we all know, and I'm very privileged to have her in our company. Yahira, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much for inviting me for this interview.
Yes. Thank you for coming, and I know I've got your name mispronounced, but let's, if you want to correct that, that's fine. But what I was interested in mostly is what your Chamber of Commerce is doing in regard to shrimp production. It sounds like the Chamber of Commerce would be removed from shrimp, but not.
It's the National Chamber of Aquaculture in Ecuador.
Okay.
National Chamber of Aquaculture is a shrimp industry association in Ecuador that takes care of most of the issues of the industry in terms of market access, advocacy to the farmers and all the stakeholders of the industry, and also take care of the sanitary regulations and proposes some activities to the government, and also participates in different programs in terms of improve productivity and competitiveness.
And you mentioned before about sanitation. You work with Codex Alimentarius and other groups about food safety?
Of course, Ecuador has to comply all the market regulations in terms of quality and food safety, and our local competent authority is audited periodically by the market authorities, especially from Europe, from USA, and also from other markets. In that way, we have to follow the Codex regulations. We have to fulfill all these indicators of quality.
Yeah.
Yes.
And does that impact the farming process in terms of disease control or disease management?
Ecuador has a national control plan for food safety and also for health control. We don't use SPF animals. It's the main difference about the Ecuadorian production model and the rest of the world, because especially in Asia, the countries use SPF animals. In Ecuador, because of the infrastructure, we cannot implement very strict biosecurity measures, because we have big ponds, and it's not possible to disinfect the 10-hectare ponds or to use a closed system with no exchange of water. So Ecuador has a production model based on all pathogen exposed animals, and we have been working in genetic improvement programs since 2000, after the white spot outbreak.
And are you having success in those breeding programs in terms of yield or feed conversion?
Yes, in the last 22 years, Ecuador has grown 22 times in terms of exports. So that means that even the model is different, it is working for this specific situation under this kind of management and infrastructure.
Yeah. So do you think we should look to Ecuador to internationally modify management practices to reflect what you might be achieving?
I don't think so, because Ecuador has a different way of producing shrimp, and it's because the system, the environment, and the infrastructure is different. It's not better or worse than others, it's just another way to produce.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, and what have you picked up from visiting Darwin and the Australian industry?
The Australian industry has very strict regulations, because they are producing in a different vision. The production here is more focused on it's because it's an island also. They have to take care of any outbreak or incoming pathogen, and the alternatives of species and some other production models are very interesting for me, because in Ecuador we only have shrimp. But here they have also fish, and they are producing barramundi, and they have another systems in place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And are you impressed with what they're achieving here?
Oh yes, of course. It's a very interesting conference, and also it's a very nice place.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
joining us. And please pronounce your name so I can understand it.
I'm Yahira Piedrahita from the National Chamber of Aquaculture of Ecuador.
Yadira, thank you very much for
Thank you.
joining us. Thank you.